Thank you for choosing to watch the Watchman News Headlines video. Our full episodes can now be seen over at Patreon with much more added content for just $2 a month. Link is in the description. If you cannot afford $2 a month, please consider using our Amazon affiliate link, purchasing from our Teespring store, or making a PayPal donation. All links are below. In order for us to grow, we have to make changes to enable it. Our time is valuable, and we have been one of the very few news sources actually dedicated to bringing you honest, hard-hitting, actionable news and information. Plus, for your $2 a month, you do not have to hear me blabber about these links. It's a win for us all.
Bullshit.
Thank you. Good evening, Watchmen and Watchwomen of YouTube. So tonight we talked about being stimulated. Not in that kind of way, though. We did talk about the stimulus checks, kind of several aspects of it. You know, not only what's going on with the stimulus checks, but you know, my suggestions on how folks should approach it in many ways, receiving the check or spending the check, and we talked quite a bit about that. We talked about a lot of stuff, actually. So, but it all pretty much came down to getting better prepared. So, I think it was a really, really good discussion on it. And you know, I still continue to urge folks, sign up on Patreon, come over there. A lot of good stuff is being done over there, and it's just going to get better. So, in fact, it's going to get better real quick. So, anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the headlines and get them out of the way. Got one that I put out last night. Hackers say they breached 150,000 live feed cameras, including in hospitals, prisons, and schools, to expose lax security standards. Now, that certainly makes me feel comfortable. All right, now we're to headlines that I put out this morning. Mumford & Sons banjo player apologizes for endorsing Andy No book, critical of Antifa, and takes time off the band amid backlash. This is saddening to me. He should not apologize. He should stand firm and tell it how it is. I think this is ridiculous, how people are being made to bend at the will of evil. Because I'm sorry, but what was going on in places like Portland and all of that, you can't describe it any other way than evil. It was bad, negative things. You can't put a positive on burning private businesses and taking over blocks of a city. You can't spin that off into a positive light. I'm sorry. So being critical about that should be normal. But yet people are being made to bend over backwards and apologize for being critical about it. Try that with me. See how much I'll bend on that. It's not going to happen. I'm not a banjo player. Russia becomes net exporter of food for first time in post-Soviet history. Serving Met police officer taken into custody in connection with Sarah Everard disappearance. Indian economy to grow 11% in fiscal 2022, study shows. Almost messed up those numbers. Russia begins slowing down Twitter over child porn, suicide, and drug use claims as regulator warns it could block service altogether. Myanmar military surround striking railway staff's compound amid protest crackdown. Hat of genocide, Beijing accuses Washington of wiping out Native Americans while blasting U.S. rumor-mongering in Xinjiang. Online poll shows nearly 40% make personal investments based on Elon Musk's tweets, and 7% thinks he's a jerk. Swedish feminists seek donations to pay fines for slanderous #MeToo women. Yeah. Literally, women that are purposely slandering individuals, they're looking for donations to pay the fines. Yeah. Two separate studies debunk theory that vitamin D supplements offer greater protection against COVID-19. Potentially huge COVID-19 vaccination boost in April dismissed by German health minister as unrealistic. GameStop stock booming again as online traders stick it to Wall Street. Russia and China increase cooperation in space and agree to jointly build scientific research station on the moon. Lawmakers top list of professionals that Russians say get paid too much in a new poll. You're not kidding. Paris rejects COVID-19 vaccine passport proposed by Netanyahu that would allow obstacle-free travel between France and Israel. More corrupt or just better at catching white-collar criminals, Moscow tops Russian prosecutors' list of supposed bribery hotspots. More men died from COVID in Britain, but women's well-being is more adversely affected, UK data says. 97% of young women in the UK have suffered sexual harassment, says a survey. Hashtag Bring Back Pierce hashtag, however, flooded with images of seaside piers as Morgan doubles down on Meghan Markle comments. Kremlin alarmed by reports U.S. is considering cyber attack against Russia as official government websites suddenly taken offline. Greenpeace activists paraglide on the European Central Bank building in fossil fuel protest. Boris Johnson denies EU claim Britain has blocked COVID vaccine exports to block amid war of words over jabs. With inflation soaring, bottom will fall out of U.S. dollar and gold will go through the roof, Peter Schiff tells Boom Bust. Russian diamond sales triple as demand in key market recovers, says Alrosa. More contagious British COVID-19 variant has significantly higher mortality rate than other strains, says a UK study. Transport Secretary roasted on talk radio for reneging on January pledge to man the barricades and fight against lockdown. Kazakhstan set to launch its own COVID-19 vaccine developed at remote former Soviet-era biological and viral weapons laboratory. Demonstrators occupy French national theaters in anti-COVID lockdown protests. Libya's parliament backs unity government. PM calls on citizens to forget their grudges. Bitcoin rally extends into fifth day as major players voice support for cryptocurrency. TikTok implementing features to promote kindness will tell users to reconsider posting mean comments. Data stolen in new cyber attack on Norwegian parliament linked to Microsoft software, says a spokesperson. Mining giant owned by Russia's richest man pays record $2 billion fine after fuel spill damages swaths of pristine Arctic land. False dawns truth. Scientists say they finally cracked the century-old mystery thanks to the Juno probe. Apparently, this whole phenomenon is caused from dust that I guess comes from Mars. So, UNICEF boss pleads for an extra $1 billion in funding to support global COVID-19 vaccine rollout. U.S. prepared to back Georgia opposition as Tbilisi government no longer dancing to Washington's tune, says Russia's top spy chief. New York Times journalist rages over Tucker Carlson showing widely available image of her after she claimed online attacks destroyed her life. Narco-busting Nan, Italian grandmother, helps police bust mafia cocaine ring after grandson's drug addiction. No indication AstraZeneca COVID vaccine causes death, an EU drug regulator says after Austria pauses rollout over safety fears. Hill reporter suggests Democrats could use Biden hologram to handle his public speeches. Are you listening? A Hill reporter suggested that Democrats could use a Biden hologram to handle his public speeches. This is the guy that beat Donald Trump in an election. And they're suggesting that it would be okay to use a hologram for the public speeches. If we see this happen, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Let's see. Hashtag resistance warrior Brooklyn dad defiant slammed for quietly accepting $57,000 in Democratic Party donations. Congress okays the $1.9 trillion virus relief bill in a win for Biden and Democrats. Missouri reform school owners charged with abusing residents. Senate confirms Merrick Garland once snubbed for Supreme Court as Biden's Attorney General. Madrid will not shut its borders for Easter, region's president says, defying COVID measures adopted by the rest of Spain. Suspected human remains discovered by Met police searching for missing woman Sarah Everard, cops still in custody. Mexico alarmed as migrant president Biden empowers traffickers, encouraging illegal immigration, says the media. Top Biden administration officials to meet Chinese delegation in Alaska for first Washington-Beijing talks of his presidency. Prestigious nursing school docks students points if they fail to give their preferred pronouns in mock examination, says media. U.S. Congress passes long-awaited I already kind of read that headline, just different source. Twitter becomes concerned about public conversation after slowdown in Russia and 4% stock slide. No data, no evidence. Fauci admits CDC advising against air travel for vaccinated Americans is a judgment call. Michigan bill to require trans student athletes to compete under gender identified at birth as 20 states mull similar laws. Let's see. McConnell says Capitol security measures not warranted by any serious threats and remind him of Kabul, which it does. Anyway, that was pretty quick and painless. Those are your headlines. I am going to get out of here. I got to clean some tea up I spilled a while ago. And God willing, we'll see you tomorrow. So have a good evening. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.